Okay, my presentation title is called Technology Integration Frameworks Assignment. We'll be talking about different technology frameworks. The first one is TIP. It stands for Technology Integration Planning. The SAMAR model, the LODI model, the TIM model, and the TPAC model. I will be introducing the framework. I will explain the purpose of the framework, and I will explain how the framework is used. We'll first talk about TIP. It stands for Technology Integration Planning. The TIP model gives teachers a general approach to addressing challenges involved in integrating technology into teaching. The TIP model serves as a helpful guide on procedures and to address issues for new teachers and those just beginning to integrate technology into their classroom. The TIP model has 5 phases. The first one, determining relative advantage. In this one, this first phase, the focus question is, why should I use technology-based method? Teachers will look at their current teaching problems and identify technology-based methods that may offer good solutions. The technology-based strategies offer new resources for teachers. The second phase, decide on objectives and assessments. The focus question here is, how will I know students have learned? The teachers will decide skills that they want students to learn from the technology integrated lessons and design ways to assess how well students have learned. They will also develop writing objectives and a good way of setting clear expectations for what technology-based methods they will accomplish. And the outcomes on the assessments by using technology-based instruction: higher achievement outcome, cooperative work outcome, positive attitude outcome, and improved motivation. Phase 3 is design integration strategies. The focus question here is, what teaching strategies and activities will work best? When teachers create an instructional design for technology integration, they consider the characteristics of their topic and the needs of their students. Teachers usually design integration strategies at the same time as preparing the instructional environment because of the availability of resources. Phase 4, prepare the instruction environment. The focus question here is, are essential conditions in place to support technology integration? Teachers can integrate technology successfully only if they have adequate hardware, software, and technical support available to them. Teachers usually decide what they are going to teach based on the resources they have available to them. Teachers make sure their instructional environment meets all the following conditions: adequate hardware, software, and media, time to use resources, special needs of students, and planning for the technology use. And the last phase, phase 5, evaluate and revise instructional integration strategies. The focus question here is, what worked well? What could be improved? Teachers review the outcome data and information on technology integrated methods and determine what needs to be changed. And here is our model. This goes by what I just talked about. Phase 1 goes to phase 2, and it just goes in a circle, and it's just a continual circle. This SAMAR model has 4 phases. It stands for substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. It guides the process of reflecting on how we are integrating technology into our classrooms. The ultimate goal of technology integration is to completely redefine how we teach and learn, and how to do things that we could never do before technology was in our hands. The first one, substitution. In this level, teachers or students are only using new technology tools to replace old tools. For example, if teachers are using Google Docs to replace Microsoft Word, the task writing is the same, but the tools are different. Augmentation. though it is a different level, but we are still in the substitution mentality. But this time we will add functionalities. Again, using the example of Google Docs. Instead of only writing a document and having to manually save it and share it with others, Google Docs provides extra services like auto saving, auto syncing, and auto sharing in the cloud. M, modification. This level is where technology is being used more effectively, not to do the same task using different tools to redesign new parts of the task and transform students' learning. An example of this is using the commenting service in Google Docs, for instance, to collaborate and share feedback on any given task. And the last one, redefinition. If you are able to place this level in Bloom's revised taxonomy pyramid, it would probably correspond to synthesis and evaluation as being the highest order thinking skills. Redefinition means that students use technology to create imperceptibly new tasks. And here is a model for that. And it's a shorter version of what I just talked about. Lodi, the levels of teaching innovation. There are 6 levels here. The first one we'll talk about is non-use. At this level, this is the instructional setting, including the use of digital or environmental resources. It does not support or promote purposeful learning aligned to academic standards or expectations. The next one, awareness. At level 1, awareness, the instructional focus is exclusively direct instruction. Students' learnings focus on lower levels of cognitive processing, recall and reproduction, working with skills and concepts. Digital and environmental resources are either non-existent or used by the classroom teacher to enhance teacher presentations. Level 3, exploration. At level 2, exploration, the instructional focus emphasizes content understanding and supports mastery learning and direct instruction. Students learn learning focus on lower level and cognitive processing, remembering, understanding, and working with skills and concepts. Digital and environmental resources are used by students for extensive activities, enrichment exercises, information gathering, or assignments or presentations that reinforce lower cognitive skill development relating to the content under investigation. The third level, infusion, the instructional focus emphasizes students' higher order thinking skills. They do this through teacher-directed problems, also through specific learning activities that may lack authenticity, the instructional emphasis, and they placed on the levels of cognitive processing and in-depth treatment of the cognitive content using a variety of thinking skill strategies. The fourth one, I actually had these numbered wrong. This is supposed to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fourth one is integration, both mechanical and routine. The mechanical part, students are engaged in exploring real world issues and solving authentic problems using available digital or environmental resources. However, the students may experience classroom management. The routine part of the integration, students are fully engaged in exploring real-world issues and solving authentic problems using the available digital or environmental resources. The teacher is within his or her own comfort level by promoting an inquiry-based model of teaching that involves students applying their learning to the real world. The last one, expansion. At level 5, expansion, students' collaborations extending beyond the classroom are employed by authentic problem solving and issue solutions. Emphasis is placed on learner-centered strategies that promote personal goal setting and self-monitoring, student action, and collaborations with groups. The last one that I did not put in here is re-environment. At level 6, students collaborations extending beyond the classroom that promote authentic student problem solving and issues resolution are the norm. The instructional curriculum is entirely learner-based, involving the content, processes, and the product of the instruction. The content emerges based on the needs of the learner according to his or her interest and is supported by access to the most current digital tools and resources. The TIM model, there are 5 interdependent characteristics of meaningful environments: active, constructive, goal-directed, authentic, and collaborative. The TIM model also associates 5 levels of technology integration: entry, adoption, adaptation, infusion, and transformation. They associate 5 levels of technology integration with each of the 5 characteristics of meaningful learning environments together. The 5 levels of the technology integration, the 5 characteristics of meaningful learning environments create the matrix of 25 cells, and it shows this in this TIM model here. And our last one, the TPAC model, lays out the knowledge that educators need in order to successfully integrate technology into their teaching. The TPAC framework combines 3 knowledge areas: technological knowledge, content knowledge, and pedagogical knowledge. This framework looks at how the trio works together to increase students' motivation to make the content more accessible to students. The first one, technological knowledge. It looks at the digital tools such as Google Drive, iPads, and smartboards. Teachers can use this to make content accessible to students while supporting the pedagogical strategy used in instruction. The content knowledge, this is where the subject matter we're teaching, like math, music, art. And the pedagogical knowledge are the tools or methods teachers use to instruct their students, such as direct instruction, inquiry-based teaching, and group discussion. Here's a model for that. And that completes my presentation.